welcome back to Becca is Stitching. I'm Becca and this is Flosstube, and Flosstube is where we talk about mainly cross stitch, but of course other crafts and everything else that we get into. Let's see, it is September 19th. It's Friday. Diana, please. That's my cat Diana. If you're new here, she's loud. Let's see, it's been, of course, 2 weeks since my last video. So much has happened, I feel like, in the last 2 weeks that I just, when I was going through everything to like notes and all that stuff, I was like, how did all that even fit in 2 weeks? We did go to, this is Diana. We went to the Ren Fair, which is, of course, modeling my crown. I love it so much. All right, it was one of those purchases that, hey, I have adult money now, and this feels like a great investment in my future, you know? So we got that. Of course, my husband got another sword because that's the life that we lead. We were also able, because we went up to the Renaissance Fair in Pennsylvania, near where my husband grew up. So we stopped and visited his grandma also, and we stayed with his dad and his dad's husband. And his dad's husband actually just got into pottery, and he made us this, which is so cute. And I'm just trying to like think of what trinkets or how I can use this, but it's so cute. He just started pottery, so that's fun. Let's see, I did end up going on that hike. Again, mental health has just been all over the place, so we need the touch grass, get outside as much as we can, honestly. Let's see, I've also been so behind on Flosstube, so if I normally like haven't gotten back to comments quickly, I've just needed time away from the internet for so many reasons, that just like I'm drowning and I have not caught up on Flosstube. So like I've ended up like having like multiple videos from the same people. So I've just like had to go back and like just delete the ones or like take them off my list, the ones that I just like missed. I can't keep up with like 60 videos. Y'all are too creative and I don't, I can't keep up, but I'm trying to get back to watching videos. Let's see. Okay, so I guess we can just get into things. Yeah, and we'll see how long the crown lasts. Maybe the whole video, because I love it. So I did finish something, which is exciting. So I ended up finishing the wedding sampler that I've been doing for my cousin. I have the date blocked off just because nobody needs to know when I'm going out of town. So I have this all done. This was their request. I took 2 different Etsy patterns and charted them up myself and made this piece. I think it's so good. I love it on this fabric. So this fabric is a 32 count Mystic. I think Mystic, picture this plus linen. Beautiful model blue. I have like the whole other half of the fat quarter, which is exciting for stash. But I really just need to pop this in a frame. I chose it's a 36 count. I think I said 32 count, 2/2. I chose that count because it would fit in a standard 8x10 frame, which makes finishing it just a lot easier. I just need to do it because I wanted to get this done before her bachelorette party. That way, because they're doing like a destination wedding. It's not super destination-y, but it's not like where they live, and I don't want to burden them with like a physical gift they have to take from their wedding venue back home when they've got other things to worry about. So that is done, and so I put in an additional 1,412 stitches since you guys last saw it, and it's now a 2,359 stitches total. She's knocking everything down. Okay, so that is that. And you gotta go. You gotta go. Thank you. Okay. I had another very exciting, like, not goal, milestone. Oh my gosh, my eye. Okay, I reached another really exciting milestone. So I finished all of the cross stitches on my stocking. So again, I'm doing a stocking for each one of my family members. So I've done one for my, get away. Diana, enough. So I'm doing one for everybody in my family. So I've done one for my older sister. This is for her husband. And next on the docket is my little sister and her husband, and then my parents. But I'm doing just like one a year, and I'll get them all done eventually. Because I also have a nephew now, so he'll get one eventually too. But yeah, all the X's are done, so all that's left, it's a lot of work. There's all the back stitching, all of the French knots, all of the beads, cording, couching, you name it. It is in this piece. This is called Santa's Journey. It's a Dimensions gold stocking. I think the art is by Peggy Abrams. Again, I always have the information up here because I forget things. Brain is like a sieve. But yeah, so this past week, 2 weeks, I finished up the presents, the stocking, or the sled. The sled, I got all of this greenery in, these two birds, and all of that blue snow background in the toe of the stocking. So we'll just do top to bottom here. I just can't get over how good these look even without back stitching. And for only using as many colors as they do. Like, it's a lot of colors, but it's not like an obscene amount of colors. So that's that. I think for the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna put this down just to give myself a little bit of a break, but then I will finish this in October. And then I'll have November and December essentially to fully finish this stocking and my sister's stocking before Christmas. So that's exciting. I'll finally have 2 done and dusted. Yeah, so that's great. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so this is I swap out the fabric all the time with the Dimensions Gold kit because I don't mind Ida, but their Ida is so stiff and it's never like big enough as far as like the dimensions for the margins that I want, especially when it comes down to like framing and stuff. I don't want any issues later on. So I opt for a bigger piece of fabric and I usually switch it over to like a linen or a Lugana or something like that. So that it's over 2 instead of over 1, especially when there is open space like this, because I like the look of a linen or a Lugana versus the Ida better for something like this. So that's what I did, and it's 36 count. That felt good. I was like last night up until right up until bedtime, I was like, I just need to get these half stitches done. I have to get them done. I cannot leave this with like 100 back stitches remaining. That would kill me. So I did get that done. Okay, so I have been working and like changed my plans around. So I'm doing a lot of temperature stitching and a lot of Great British Bake Off stitching, which if you haven't, I'll link the video below for Great British Bake Off or Great British Baking Show, which is what they, I think, call it in the US. They like changed the name of it from off to show, which is, I think, weird and unnecessary. I don't know why they would do that, but either way, there's a cross stitch game that goes along with it that I'll explain a little bit later, but that is more stitching and more projects than I think I had thought it was going to be going into it. So, oh, the other thing is I changed my lighting because I noticed that on my phone, the lighting looked fine, but when you got it into like a less high, like a lower resolution, like a TV or a computer screen, if you can hear the squeaking, my dog's outside squeaking a tennis ball. So just, I hope that's not being picked up, but if it is, that's what that sound is. That when you get on like the slightly lower resolution screens, it gets really white. So I did something a little bit different today, hoping it works. Let me know what you think about the lighting and where I need adjustments to be made. If it's anything I can fix in a video that's like a recommendation, as long as it's not like, oh, I don't like the sound of your voice. Okay, I can't change that. Just like don't subscribe. But if it's like changeable, let me know because I'm open to feedback and I don't want this to, you know, be so bright you can't see it. But I think I overcorrected. I don't want it to be too dark you can't see it. and I overcorrected to too bright. So let me know. Okay. Anyway, so with temperature stitching, I had to make a change because Great British Bake Off stitching was taking up more time than I thought it was going to. And so I decided that I'm still keeping track of all the temperatures. So on Friday, so today, I look at the next full week of temperatures. Each temperature, I look at the high for the day, and the second digit of that number corresponds to one of my projects on this list. And so if there's like 72, whatever is 2 on this list, that gets a half hour. If there's 72 and 82, because the second digit is the same, that will get 1 hour for the week. So I am only stitching on the projects as they reach 2 hours, because that was just too many projects for me. It got to be, I was like, I have to work on 5 other projects for a half an hour on each project. I can't, I couldn't do it. I was like, no. So I am doing that, I think, for the rest of this month, and then I might switch it up even more next month, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, so for temperature stitching, 2 of the ones that 2 reached that 2 hour mark. So I worked on Demon Feast, and this is a new start. So this is a, what am I trying to say? This pattern, oh my gosh, this pattern is by Night Spirit Studio. It is like a woodcut design, and I am stitching this on, what is this? 32 counts linen from Live and Dye LA, And this was one of their fabric of the months from 2023. Yeah, from November of 2023. It's a beautiful, like, rusty red with like browns in it. It's really cool, and I think it's actually going to suit this pretty well. So I'm doing 2/2 with just 310, and it's got really good coverage, and I think that red is going to be, like, that reddish brown is going to be really cool with this. And I say that knowing my husband helped me choose this. He's like, do you have any red fabric for that project? And I was like, I do. Surprisingly, because, like, I don't know what I'm doing sometimes, so all credit goes to him, as per usual. But yeah, so I got in 565 stitches on this one out of 8,429. So it's not too big, actually, and it's at 6.7%. So just a little start. But, like, I like to get like 500 stitches in minimum when I first start a project. Otherwise, I'm like, what's the point? So that's where that one is. And that was like another thing that led to like the 2 hour mark, because I have quite a few new starts on that list, and doing like a start for half an hour, I'm like, why am I even doing this? What's the point? Yeah, okay, so the other thing I worked on for temperature stitching was Book of Deadly Potions. So this is a piece designed by Haunted Frames Stitchery. Yes, Haunted Frame Stitchery. And this is, I got in an additional 607 stitches. So it's now 2,259 stitches out of 3,295 stitches for 68.56%. And realistically, all I did was get the outline of the book in, and all I have to do is like fill in the pictures in the book next. And it looks so cute. I love this. These books are so cute. And there's so much like more detail in them than I thought there was going to be, and they're bigger than I thought they were going to be. With that is fine. This is 32 count Graceful Gray linen by Witchelt, and I'm doing 2/2 all called for. And she's got so many other ones in this series of like books. There's a pink one, a yellow bee one, there's like a winter one, a forest one. She's got so many, and she like keeps coming out with more. So I love these. And I have the pink one also that I would like to do too, as of right now. She also just came with like out with like a bookshelf one that is really cute. Like a Halloween-y bookshelf. Yeah, so that was that. And that would be fun just to get done, because it is so small, and I'm pretty, close enough that it is within the realm of possibility to finish that one. Okay, so on to Great British Bake Off. So Great British Bake Off, if you've been living under a rock, is a baking show in the UK. I think I'm using my terms correctly. I don't fully understand the difference between like UK versus England, but like there's people from like Wales and Scotland there. So maybe not Scotland, Ireland, whatever. I think it's the UK. Forgive my ignorant American knowledge of that. I have no idea. Either way, they speak with an accent that is different to mine. So, it's a very formulaic series, like show. So the first challenge is a signature bake. They were able to practice it. The second is a technical bake where they don't know what they're going to have to bake and they're given minimal instructions. And the third bake is their like showstopper, which they could also practice, but it has to be like grand and huge and detailed and all of these things. So there's a stitching number, and this is all designed by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. So the person who gets first in that technical, because they rank their bakes blind. So first in technical, you do the number of people left times 50. Oh, and each person in the game is assigned to a different one of my projects. So last in technical, you do the number of bakers left times 25. So that number will go down as the series goes on. And then there's also Star Baker for the person who did the best during the week is Star Baker. They get daily 100 stitches. Person who gets eliminated gets 500 stitches. And then there's this thing that one of the judges does, like his handshake. If he gives out a handshake, that's an additional 500 stitches. So that happens sometimes, doesn't happen other times. So all that to say, the last 2 weeks, we've had the first 2 episodes of this season, and I worked on 6 different projects. So the first thing I worked on because somebody was eliminated, which means this one will not see any more work, probably this year. But I did get some cool progress in that I finished this whole first page. So that's exciting. So I put in, and I was thinking, if it's a half cross project, I will do double the stitches. Quickly let go of that idea. But for this one, I did put in 1,018 stitches. So this is now at 9,882 stitches out of 42,000 stitches for 23.5% done. And this is a Luca S kit. And, oh man, that shadow is kind of a lot. I hope that's not too annoying. So yeah, I finished that first full page and I'm just gonna keep working on filling in this second page and then I'll keep going down. But like I'm doing this kind of cross country-ish, not like extreme cross country, but like kind of cross country. So yeah, so that's looking really, really good. And it's because it's the kit, I'm just using everything that came with it, including the fabric, because it's a 25 count like canvasy material. Like it's very stiff, which is why this hoop is its home until I'm done with it, because I'm not trying to take it in and out of this hoop. And we'll cross the creases bridge when we get there in years. So yeah, and this is 2/1 half cross, but it looks really, really good. I'm really happy with this. Would do a Luca S kit again, especially because I think they include it now just like inherently, like there's a QR code you can get to get the pattern digitally when you buy the kit, but I did email them and I was able to get the Pattern Keeper, or like a PDF version that went easily into Pattern Keeper, which made this 5 million times easier. So highly recommend if you're a digital stitcher. Okay, so this one was also elimination based, but this will get pulled out again because it's one of my favorites and it's spooky, so it'll come out again. But this is Within a Dream by the Artsy Housewife. And I'm stitching this, not all called for because I don't use Weeks Dye Works, but random swaps that made sense. So I put in 514 stitches on this one. And this is 1/1 on 46 count. Wild Mint by Atomic Ranch. So this is now at 3,722 stitches out of 19,000 for 643 stitches for 34.85%. So I mainly worked in, I only did all of this black here, only. I did mainly 310 here on the Raven, just to kind of fill him in some more, because I would like to get him done, then do this border, and then keep working down, because I didn't want to fully commit to a lot of things, and I have a weird way of stitching this one, but it's making sense to me. So that's what it looks like. That border is intense and beautiful. This side is like done to here. This side I still have quite a bit of fill in that border left to do, but it's looking really good. And I would like to get more progress on this one this year for sure. Okay, what's next? Okay, so Wisteria. This was Star Baker for the first week. Maybe I shouldn't specify that. Is that giving too much away? Let me know. I'm not using names because I don't want to spoil things, like if you haven't watched it yet, because that would suck. I hate spoilers. So like when I'm watching Jessie Marie's like Big Brother stitching, like I don't care at all, because that I want to see her stitching. I don't care about Big Brother at all, but if you do care, I don't want to spoil it for you. But I did work on Wisteria. So this was a 100 stitch a day project. So I put in 701 stitches. It worked out very well, actually, that I got in 701. And that was like the end of the thread. So this is at 5,259 stitches out of 27,930 stitches. So it's at 18.8%. So I think what I worked on this time mainly is I started to pull over this way to work across the top of the pattern, and then kind of start to bring, like, get fully across and then start to work down fully. But it's looking good. Again, backstitch is going to make this one like define those leaves and the hydrangeas, or wisteria, hydrangeas, wisteria very well. That was a couple projects ago. Those were hydrangeas. Let's see, what else do I want to say? Oh, swapped out the fabric. So this is a Merezhka kit, and let me think, what else do I have to say? They, I think, again, now include on their kits like a direct link to their app. They have an app specific to their Merezhka kits, which is similar to Pattern Keeper, Markup, Saga. It's similar to those, but is just for their projects. And it actually comes with like a ton of freebies that would be fun to stitch also. So that's something. But I did get, since I didn't have one of the newer kits, I just had to send them proof again. And they explain how to do, like how to send them proof through the app. So it's very, like a very good system they have set up if you don't have like the newer kits with the QR code directly on them. But yeah, it's really good. Like I said, swapped out the fabric. So this is a 36 count. Again, it's a fabric of the month. Info will be on the screen. It's like March of 2023 or something. Maybe not March. I don't know. Some month of some year that is not this year. And it's bluer, I think, than it's showing up here. It's like very summery sky, which is kind of why I changed it out, because there is like open space on this one. Yeah. Okay. Butterfly bouquet. I worked on this one. So the person who's assigned to this, they got last in technical for one of the weeks. So that was, I think it was 11, however many stitches times 25. So I put in 285 stitches on this. So this is by Sprouting Lupine. 7,160 stitches out of 13,559 stitches for a total of 52.81%. And really all I did was work on this specific butterfly, and all I have left in him is this pink here. But this person hasn't been eliminated yet. Otherwise I was going to just like finish the butterfly, but I know I'm gonna pick this one back up again, even if that person just is eliminated and I have to put 500 in this. So I know this will come back out again. So I just left it where it was. Normally that would kill me, but it'll be okay. Yes, that one looks so good. Okay, farewell to Lothlorien. The person who did this, he got first in technical both weeks. So I started my new section of the chart, my new 10 by 10 block. Because last week I had that section finish with Andrew's Whip into Shape challenge. So I got in 1,155 stitches on this. So this is at 171,283 stitches out of 408,375 stitches. So it's at 41.94%, very close to another percentage mark. And so really all I did was this full column, and then I started in the second column because that's how I work on these, or this one in particular. Wow, my acne is so bad right now. Thank you, anxiety. I'm 30. Stop it. Okay, that tangent aside. This is 1/1 28 count full cross. This is a chart designed by Alexandra V. Bach, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is a regular size max color. I don't use Heaven and Earth Designs anymore. I have no idea if they still have this pattern. I'm pretty sure they still do, but either way. We're coming along. We're coming along with it. It's gonna take us years, but progress. Progress is progress. Okay, next up is Succubus. So this is a design by Christopher Lovell. It is charted by Unconventional Cross Stitch. I'm doing this as 25 count gridded fabric, 2/1 half cross. And I put in 1,601 stitches so this was a handshake, Star Baker, and last in technical. So this has 13,039 stitches out of 362,600 stitches for 3.6%. So I really just finished this column, got most of this column in, and then I've got, a little bit of the moon here. It's so much parking in this one, and it's kind of made me want to change how I'm stitching this one, but then I also don't know if that's worth messing with my system. I don't know. I really don't. Because this one is much more like one image with background versus Farewell to Lothlorien, which is really like it's either almost like all background or it's all something. So like stitching it the way I'm stitching it really makes sense because there are very few like big pieces that are defined. I don't know if I'm even saying that right, but I don't know. Like this horn here, like part of it goes into the page here and then part of it still goes over here. So like I have to like restart. I don't know. I'm having a crisis of conscience with this one. So we'll see what I do. Again, it's so unserious. It's stitching. I'll figure it out and it'll be fine. And if it's a little bulky, it's a little bulky in the back. I don't care. It's not going to be like so bulky that it's going to affect how I have to like frame it or do something with it. So it's fine. It'll be okay. Really overthinking this one this past week. But again, it's looking pretty good. That horn looks very cool. And again, anywhere where there's like a little bit of bleed through from the fabric, like I'm just assuming, I think it's a pretty good assumption. When I eventually wash this, those are gonna fluff up enough that I don't, and from any sort of distance, it's gonna look fine. Not trying to stress out about that. So that's everything I worked on, which was kind of a lot. It was kind of a lot this week. And we'll see how the next week goes, if I need to like lower those or something, because I still have some other like plans that technically I would like to get done. But temperature stitching, what I'm thinking of doing for October, because my next video will be October 2nd, and I might start this plan earlier, so I'll go over it right now. But I plan on choosing 5 projects and doing 2 numbers, like 2 digits for each of those 5 projects, and then like swapping them out after they reach like 1,000 stitches. So I'll choose 5 projects. I'm going to choose 2 of my small like fall Halloween ones, and then like 3 will be like my medium large Halloween ones that aren't part of Great British Bake Off. And for every like digit, it'll be 100 stitches, and at 1,000 stitches, I'll replace it with something else. Again, unless it's like super close to a finish, or something like that. So Great British Bake Off, that plan will stay. Again, for now, like I might need to lower like handshake to 250 or something like that. We'll just see what I get done because it's a lot happening. I don't know. I'm taking a break from the stocking, like I said. So I will try to pick up the Burrow Tales Stitch Along by Quaternion Creations that I've been working on. I'm now another part just came out Wednesday and I hadn't finished the part before that. So like I can definitely still get caught up. I'm not worried about that. If I put it off for another 2 weeks, it's gonna be much harder. And I would like to see that one just done by the end of the year. And Whip Go goals. So I am counting my stocking as my Whip Go, again, by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. Go see her channel if you want to know what Whip Go. Here's my board. One of the calls for this month was winter theme. I'm counting my stocking as the winter theme one that I work on this month because with my other plans, it'd be way too much to also try to work on something else. And winter is Christmas. Christmas is winter here in the Northern Hemisphere for me. So I'm going with it. And Cozy Little Cottage, I need to work on that to fulfill my Whip Go goal. It is part of my temperature stitching, but it hasn't been called that much, so I might need to put in a little bit of extra work for that over the next 2 weeks. So those are my plans. We'll see what happens. Again, it's like 10 projects, like 10 to 12 projects is kind of a lot to show in a week, which I guess is kind of what I was doing before, but if I was doing all of the temperature stitching, like I originally said, it would be like 15 to 18 projects, and that is so much. That's so much to like iron, talk about, take pictures of, do all the things that I do for these videos. Nah, we'll pass. Quick sweater knitting update. So this is the Ingrid sweater that I'm making for my husband. I'm making us a Christmas sweater. So his is green. I'm making the same pattern, different colors. His is green, mine's red. And this is where I've gotten to. I'm very close to connecting underneath the arms. I'm just a few rows away before I want to try it on him and make sure he doesn't need it longer, because he wanted it to be less baggy than the pattern recommends. So we went down a couple sizes, and he's a tall guy. So I just want to make sure that because we went down a couple sizes, that's not going to shorten it too much, especially around because I can always make something longer like in the body, but I want to make sure that like where it meets under the armpits isn't going to be like up in his armpits. So I have to like try it on him first. Yeah, that happened. So, so I'm going to try to get that connected before I go on the bachelorette trip, and then just bring this, because once I get down to the body, this is going to be really easy to just work on while I'm chatting and doing other things. It's going to be a pretty low-key bachelorette party. It's not like I'm in my 20s again. One of those bachelorette parties, not like that. So knitting will be acceptable, especially if they're running like a race or something that weekend, and I don't want to run. So I prefer hiking and Pilates for my exercise, not running. So I think I'll be working on this one that weekend. And books. I'm on the last 2 Anita Blake books that are currently out, and I have never read these ones. So I'm very close to having way more exciting book updates for you in the future. Yeah, I'm excited to read the new installments since I did my last reread a couple years ago. And I also finished the 9th Wheel of Time books. That was Winter's Heart. So I've got like Crossroads of Twilight next. I think that's the 10th one. And then I think we're into the Brandon Sanderson ones. I think like the 10th, or maybe there's like one more Robert Jordan one written ones, but I think the 10th book is the last book in what everyone denotes as the slog of the series. So, yeah, so trying to get through that series slowly but surely. I also finished the 3rd book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, which again, I'm still loving. It's so stupid and funny, and I love it so much. And I actually, on our trip that we took last weekend to the Renaissance Fair, I convinced my husband to listen to it. He'll listen to a book once every now and then with me. He listened to Mistborn. He really liked Mistborn. Never kept going with it because he's not a reader. Honestly, the only thing that disappoints me about him is the fact that he does not read books and I can't talk to him about books. But he will on occasion listen to them. But we started listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first book, and he's really enjoying it. So that is very exciting. And like, just because the audiobook is so immersive too, I feel like for somebody who's not a reader, it's a really enjoyable experience regardless. So that's been good. And you know, we have the wedding coming up, travel for the holidays. So I'm glad we have a book ready to go for that, for the two of us. So, okay, the other thing that has been taking up my time, if you're a gamer out there, Hollow Knight. Okay, well, Silk Song was just released, which put me back into my Hollow Knight psychosis. Every once in a while, I pick up Hollow Knight and I get farther than I did the last time I picked it up. Because I'm a rage quitter. And it's a very hard game. Intentionally so, right? Like, you feel so good when you beat a boss you've been working on for so long. So, went down a Hollow Knight, restarted it, made it way farther than I ever have before. Like, I could finish the game. I'm trying to do like all of like the DLC stuff, all of like the other stuff that's in the game. I know you can finish it and then go back, but I'd rather try to finish everything and then finish out like the actual story. It's been so much fun. I've been having such a good time. Also, like, terrible time because that game is crazy. And please let me know in the comments if you either played Hollow Knight or have been enjoying Silksong, because I started to play Silksong first, but I was like, girl, you never even finished Hollow Knight. Stop playing this game. Go back. Finish that one first. And the games are only $20 on PC at least, and I think everywhere. And they're so good. They're so fun. It's like a platformer game. You're into video games and you want the challenge of like when we were younger and like you died and like you lost progress, or like it wasn't, I feel like some games now are like almost too easy in the sense that like, say, like the Horizon games, right? Like you have the setup here that like literally tells you where to go, where the map is. Like you can follow a sign in the sky that directly leads you to your next quest. This is like, there's no real guidance, which is frustrating at first, especially, but like, if you just go in and immerse yourself into the world, like you figure it out. And it like is almost more sweet for like figuring it out yourself. I hope I'm selling this game because it is one of my all-time favorite games. And like, I've played hours and hours of Stardew, and that is like, those two games, they don't seem like they have anything in common, but those like, I think are my two favorite games ever in existence. And that's my plug for Hollow Knight. And Silksong, which I'm assuming is like hard, which is harder. And people are like, oh, this game is so hard. And they're like, yeah, but like, and there's no tutorial on how to play it. It's like Hollow Knight is the tutorial to Silksong. Play Hollow Knight first. Anyway, that's my soapbox on Hollow Knight. It's been really fun and I've been really excited about it. So, you know, take those bits of joy where you can. With everything that's been going on, all I'm going to say is this is outside of everything else. And I know it's not going to change any minds or opinions, but if you're wondering where I stand on things, I try to just talk about cross stitch and crafts because that's why I'm here. That's what I love to do. I think about politics and all those other things in my real life, and sometimes you just need a break. And I understand even being able to get a break is a privilege in and of itself, but pro gun control, all right? Pro free speech, anti-Christian nationalism and white supremacy, anti-racism. Like, I don't feel like these things should be controversial, but they're controversial and it is what it is. I'm so sick of seeing kids murdered in schools. I'm so sick of seeing it, and I'm so sick of nobody in government doing anything about it and just like blaming other people for the problem when like there's a solution we just like haven't tried yet. And maybe we could just stop any like amount of like bringing down the gun violence in this country would be awesome. Be really great. I know that's not what you're here for, and it's frustrating. And again, I can't even like make people in my family listen to me, so I'm not expecting to like change hearts and minds of people on the internet. But if you are wondering, I'm not trying to be silent about it. It's just very overwhelming, and trust me, like I'm talking to my representatives, I'm doing things that impact it outside of this, and I just feel like I need to very clearly state where I am. All right. I'm tired. Y'all, I'm so tired. So I'm going to just try to get a little cozy tonight. We have the virtual retreat, Harvest Moon Hangout from Lindy Stitches this weekend. Gonna try to pop into that a little bit. I don't know how much participating I will end up doing because I'm a little peopled out, a little anxious, a little tired. I've got stuff coming up that'll people me out. So, you know, we'll see what I really get involved in. Trying not to spend money. Don't look at this. That didn't happen. Trying not to spend money. And, you know, we're just trying to be cozy this weekend. Again, go on another walk, at least outside, or a hike. I don't know, but be outside. It's going to be, the weather's getting here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's getting bearable to be outside again. So really trying to take advantage of that. I'm going to go sit, enjoy my coffee, do some more work, because this is, you know, lunchtime for me. So you know, while this uploads this afternoon, yeah, that's all I have to say. Take care of yourselves, please. Just please try to get off the internet for a little bit. Just connect with people you love. Be reminded that, like, empathy is out there and people love you and will support you and try to take care of you. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'll say. I'm really trying not to keep these like endings of like, I'm not trying to make it a downer. I'm trying to like be positive. Like, people are out there who care about you. I know you care about other people. Reach out to them. I think we can all agree that like gun violence is a problem, right? I think that is evident, and there are similarities that we have to take where we can. And especially take care of yourselves and be safe. Keep crafting. That's the sanity, right? Like, keep crafting, keep pouring your hearts and emotions into everything that you're creating and generating in this time that feels a little bleak and a little sad. So that's one good thing about the internet, especially, is sharing that love and that art with other people. And remember, art is inherently political as well. So that's just the world that we live in. And do something cozy for yourself. Let's see, is there an emoji this week that do a crown. If you made it this far through my ramblings at the end where I'm venting out my feelings, leave a crown emoji, because honestly, this has been the highlight. And I have it on my bookshelf just so I can like stare at it. And here, I'll bring it up close. So yeah, it's so freaking pretty. This crown has been my joy. Yeah. And until next time, bye.